What's up, guys? In this video I'm gonna make a Nerf mod, but I'm going to use this gun and I'm gonna make something cool out of it. Got this off of eBay for $10. Why not, right? It didn't have a barrel and it didn't have a stock. So what we're gonna try to do is we're going to try to make this look cool. So I'm probably gonna remove this and probably put it back here somewhere to cover this stock thing here. And I got some PVC pipes, which I'm going to cut and make me the barrel extension for it. Got an extender, and yeah, let me know where I'm gonna go with it just yet. So I'm gonna start off by cutting up my PVC pipe. No specific size, I am just winging it. I'm using a 1" and 1" and 3/4 PVC pipe. I cut the inner barrel a little bit longer, took it to my drill press and drilled out some holes, and it looks something like this. And I took my Unibit and made these holes just a little bit bigger so they would look cooler. And it should look something like this with the inner barrel in there. Now I got some Picatinny rails from my airsoft gun and I casted it and it looked like crud. So I had to sand it down. So while I had my belt sander out, I went ahead and sanded down the rest of the barrel. I heated up the 1" PVC extender, and while it was still hot, I went and shoved it right over the tip of the Nerf gun. And I was able to make my adjustments, make sure everything was nice and straight while it was still hot. And then I heated up my outer barrel extension. I'm going to slip this one over the PVC extension thingy, and it was able to slip right in there. As soon as it cooled down, it just stayed there permanently. So far so groovy. Let's move along to the stock end. I went and used a CAD program, cardboard aided drafting, to design my back stock. I scanned the image and I cut it with my laser cutter, and these were the pieces that I ended up with. And I cut this out of acrylic. This piece will go under the handle. I used some super glue, every last drop of it, to hold my accents to the stock and apply some weight. I got some T-nuts and some 1/4 bolts. This is gonna hold the two pieces together and to the gun. I used a clamp to make sure everything was nice and pressed in. It will look better than using nuts and bolts. And I designed it with enough space to add another clip of ammo. Now I'm going to remove this black piece because I'm not going to need it. I'm going to glue the wooden stock just right onto the gun and this plastic piece down here like that. I'm going to take some coarse sandpaper and scuff down all the areas that's going to have glue on top of it. I'm using some 5-minute epoxy by Loctite, and I'm going to slip everything on and clamp it down because I have about 20-minute wait time before everything is usable or movable. And here's a shot of what the clamp bottom piece looks like. Yeah, looks really crazy, don't it? But now this is where we're at so far. Now we're ready to paint this thing. I'm going to take some steel wool and scuff down all my surfaces. Use an airbrush to blow off all the excess dust. And then I'm going to take everything apart. Now it's up to you whether or not you want to take this thing apart. But for me, I plan on removing the caulking thingy. I don't know what you call that. But I'm going to need to take it apart in order for me to relocate it and rethread some of the parts. Now this is the piece I was talking about. We're going to go ahead and cut some of this stuff off because I don't need it no more. And then I'm going to find me a spot so I can glue it down. And there's a screw hole here, so I need to drill out a hole so I can have access to that screw and line it up. Now I need to do some trimming in a few spots so that it'll fit perfectly, or kind of perfectly. And now I got to make this slot a little bit wider so I can slide my 1/4 bolt back and forth just like that. Now that I have all this done, I gotta sand everything down so that the epoxy has something to grip to. I'm gonna use this Epoxy Putty. You just mix it up with your hand and then you just squeeze it into those tight little crevices just like that. This will reinforce the structure just a little bit. And just like that, 10 minutes later, as hard as a rock. You can even sand it down, but I'm not gonna do that.
Then I applied some epoxy to this plate thingy, and I'm going to glue it to the back end of the gun. This will support the stock just a little bit. I even used some of that putty stuff to reinforce the integrity. Now I took that Picatinny rail and I screwed it onto the barrel before I spray painted everything down. Now I made a mistake by painting it gloss black. I sat there and waited forever, and I was like, why is this paint not drying? Because it was gloss black. It's been dried. I painted all the internal stuff silver. When I took the inner barrel and stuck it in the outer barrel, it looked like that. This mechanical thingy is what makes the gun work, and I needed to put some threads in there. I'm using my drill, and I'm gonna tap me some 1/4 threads to it. I'm gonna stick a bolt in this later. Now it's time to put everything back together. It was a little bit tedious, but not as bad as my other guns. This was pretty easy because I've done this before. Now that I finally got everything figured out and back in place, I was able to screw down the stock, which is kind of cool because I was able to use a wrench. And this was that bolt action trigger thingy that I was talking about earlier. That's the reason why I had to thread that mechanical thing. Then I went in there and painted all the accents, some gunmetal, which is kind of cool. I never really used this color scheme before. And I used some hot glue to hold down that bolt so it doesn't like wiggle in or loose on me. And here you go, all works just like that. And now here is the end result. I really dig it. I think Punisher's gonna like it too, but I think Punisher has more than one gun, so expect another gun tutorial for the Punisher.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys learned something. And yeah, I'm building up a Nerf collection, as you can tell behind me, and hopefully eventually we are going to have a cosplay Nerf war, and we're going to film the whole thing. But I'm going to try to make a Nerf blaster for each character that I have. Now this one right here is actually for my Punisher cosplay, and I don't have a Punisher cosplay. Well, not anymore. I have one actually, but I gave it away, so that means I have to make a new one, and that means I have to make a video on it, since I didn't make a video on the first Punisher. So yeah, why not, right? I really like it. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. I think it's cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make me a kryptonite blaster for my next Nerf mods. Y'all wanna make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit that notification button. Don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.